with Roger Kish here at North Dakota State University. Let's talk about just progress of the program, what you feel like you need to do to get to that next level and get to an individual national champion and get national recognition that way.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be about recruiting the right type of kids and building a great culture here. And when you have those two things, you're going to have success. And we're continuing to get the culture is in a great place. We got great kids, great character and work ethic, and kids who want to be as successful as they can. And we're starting to get those recruits that come in and buy into the system and are having success. And you've seen North Dakota State on the big stage, and then there's a lot of history here and both that Division II era, but again in that Division I era, and you're seeing these guys have success on the national level, right now, and that next step is to put a guy on the top of the NCAA podium, and we've had multiple All-Americans come through the program, and you've seen guys as high as third place in Steve Monk here a few years back, And you look at guys like Hayden Zimmer who've come through the program, and he's one of the top, senior level athletes right now. So we're continuing to build this brand and build this culture, and the recruits are continuing to see what's going on here and understand that they can have success at the highest level and position themselves to win an NCAA title here. And that's really what's important for these guys to see, that you can do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be one or two or three different programs that success at the highest level is achieved. And helping these young athletes understand that is really what it comes down to, and I think you're starting to see that with a lot of different programs having a lot of success. So something we're really proud of, and we're going to continue to make that push.
You went to the University of Minnesota. Now you have this region where you have Brandon Eggum, who went to Minnesota, is at Minnesota. You have Damian Hahn, who went to Minnesota and SDSU, and here you are at Minnesota NDSU. What's that like competing against guys that all went to Minnesota?
Well, the good thing is we're all friends, and in fact, if you look back historically, we've all actually wrestled at 184 pounds for the University of Minnesota. So it's kind of fun to see that. But at the end of the day, we're all friends, and once the competition day ends, we always go back to being friends, right? And being able to really utilize some of the experiences that we've had through our own personal experiences at the University of Minnesota, I think we've taken with us to different areas of the country, and again, it's just helped us build our own programs, and I think it's probably the most success and the most thanks would probably go to Jay Robinson, who's really been that leader for these athletes and coaches that are not just leading the regional programs here, but different coaches on a national stage. So very grateful for having a guy like Jay Robinson to help mentor us, and it's nice to be able to compete against your friends as well. So a lot of fun, and we're excited to continue to build that. Those relationships and continue to compete against one another and have a great experience with our programs.
Marty Morgan went to NDSU and Minnesota. How do you get him pulled back into the program so you make sure he's a Bison instead of a Gopher?
That's he's been a big mentor of mine and a good personal friend of mine through our experience at the University of Minnesota, and in fact was a large reason I chose to go to the University of Minnesota. But he's got some roots, and his relationships that he's built at North Dakota State are going to last him a lifetime. And when I first got to North Dakota State, I've heard the different stories about Mr. Morgan, and his experiences here, and things that I probably wouldn't have heard otherwise. And again, it's through the relationships that we've had. So at the end of the day, this game is really about creating relationships, and wrestling being such a small knit community. It's really fun to talk to different boosters and alums and old North Dakota State athletes that have those experiences and shared time with guys like Marty Morgan, and this is why they're going to continue to sport the Bison.